2002, I finally get a call from Microsoft for an interview. You know, you have those dreams in your life that I am an REC product, or I have done so much well and all of it in my life, and I belong to this place and all my batchmates are in this place. So you really want to work for a great company. You want to work for a company which has a bit of a name there. And that's exactly what happened to me. So getting that call from Microsoft meant a lot for me. This entire video, I'm sharing the story of how, against all the odds which are stacked in my, against me rather, I was saying stacked in my favor, against me, I ended up getting a job at Microsoft, not for the position I had applied for, but for a different position. And it's a story about how I got logged out at like midnight outside Microsoft office and how I found my way in and nailed those interviews. So well, I got my first interview on the phone, and I was at that time in Bangalore. I had just joined a job about 15-20 days back. So me and my wife, we had just, and our little daughter, she was very small at the time, like 1.5-year-old, we just had shifted to Bangalore. So we shift to Bangalore and we get this call from Microsoft, and I'm like all happy, yay about it. And I remember giving money to a PCO owner so that I can attend the interview from that place, because that was the only way you could actually do a call like this. So anyway, I do this call and I get selected. You know, another 2-3 days later, an invitation comes for the second level of interview, for which I have to fly to Hyderabad and attend the interview on, I believe, on WebEx in those days. So I get all of this set up and I have to go to now Hyderabad, and I have this kind of background thing in my mind, which is basically I've just joined this job, should I be? But then Microsoft is Microsoft, so I want that job, so obviously I go all in. So I had to fly to Hyderabad, I think around 3:30 or 3 o'clock flight for an interview which was going to be about at 8 o'clock. And Bangalore to Hyderabad flight, including all the travel, I would be there by 6:30 or something. And they had booked me in a very, very amazing 5-star swanky hotel in like Taj, I forgot which Taj, but there are like multiple Tajes in Hyderabad, but in a 5-star hotel. I'm going to stay here, so I'm really happy about it. This is my very first time I'm going to be in a 5-star hotel, so I love it. And you know, so I'm there at the airport, and then I found out the first problem that my flight is actually delayed by about 4 hours, and I don't have an option but to wait. Back then it was not that you can actually have multiple options. So anyway, I'm waiting. I informed the HR in Microsoft Hyderabad that hey, I'm going to be late because of this and this reason, and she says it's okay, it's all right, I'm going to inform them. Anyways, finally the flight comes. I reach the airport at like, and I remember it was in not Blacktown, it was in the old Hyderabad area, and I get out of the airport and they have sent me an ambassador, like really slow kind of ambassador, very slowly going towards the Microsoft office, and I reach Cyber Tower at around, I think, like 11:30 in the night. And HR lady Vani, she greets me with a Coke or a thumbs up or something, and a bottle of water, and she ushers me into the room where actually there's a WebEx or something going on, and there are like 7 people already waiting for me. They've been told that he's in the way. Like, oh, they're already waiting for me. And then I have an interview, and the very first thing I say in the interview is that, look, I'm sorry that I got late. And I said, hey, mate. They were so good. They said, hey, mate, if you could actually control the flights in India, we would instantly hire you. So they put me at ease. They do an interview for about 50 minutes, and then they say, and then that's when the fun really starts. They say, hey, we're going to do another technical round with you. I go, damn, technical round, shucks. Oof. Okay, sure. So can you go out and get Vani here? So I used to have those big Nokia phone back then, like big Nokia phone. So I left my phone and everything in, and I went out to get Vani. Now I go out to Microsoft office in Cyber Tower, which was all offices there, and I go out to Microsoft office, like open the security door, get out, and I asked him, where is Vani? He said, Vani madam left like 1 hour back. I was like, oh, okay. So I need to go inside. Sorry sir, I don't have the key. I was like, what? I don't have the key. And I'm like, what do I do? My phone is inside, my wallet is inside, what do I do? So I was like, there's no option. So I kept calling Vani from this guy's, like from the desk phone, and Vani doesn't pick up. It's late. I remembered Vani's number, so I couldn't talk to Vani. And so next thing I do is I start dialing every single number. And because in those days in Cyber Tower, there was like Microsoft had offices, no open plan. And I start dialing every single number. Finally, one Microsoft developer who's basically sitting at like 2 a.m. in the night picks up the call, gets me inside, and I'm like, what do I do? I had an interview about an hour and a half back. What do I do? He gives me his laptop. I find my Yahoo Mail. I was using Yahoo Mail, and I found the contact person. And then I contacted I tried to find this person on the Outlook. And I contact this person. He doesn't pick up the phone. And this is going on. And I'm like worried, how do I get in touch with this person? How do I get in touch with the interviewer? So the Microsoft guy tells me that, hey, in Microsoft in Redmond, there are these buildings where there are like one team normally operates out of building. And this is building number 27. So you could call other people. I'm like, cool. I start calling every single number from the building 27. Every single number, every single person. And many people called, who picked up the phone. Like few people picked up the phone, but everybody said that, no, we don't know, mate. We can't, like they don't say mate, but they said, we can't help you. And finally, after like about 1.5 hours, maybe around 3:30 a.m. in the morning, somebody picks up the phone and says, yes, we know the whole building is awake that there's somebody who's calling from India about his interview. So you will be contacted. They get the details, and next 5-10 minutes, this guy gets a call on his number, and I'm ready for my interview. In the interview, they asked me, so, by the way, how did you find us? And I tell them the entire story. And they said, look, you shouldn't have bothered so much because we could have done the interview later. And I was like, no, I had to. I had to. I said, why? I said, why not? I still remember it. I still remember what I was wearing. I said, why not? It had to be done. And then they're like, okay, we don't have any more questions. Oh, okay. So anyway, around 4 a.m. or so, I go to my 5-star hotel. I sleep for like 1.5 hours, 2 hours, but I can't miss the chance to have the free breakfast. I get the breakfast, I catch my flight next morning. I don't know what time the flight, 9:10. I land at Bangalore airport and I switch on my Nokia, switch on the Nokia. And literally when I switch it on, I get a call from Vani. Vani says, the HR lady. I said, how was the interview? I said, oh, it went well. And she says, well, Kapil, we're not going to give you the job of a program manager. And I was like, okay. Yeah, maybe because I stuffed or something. And then she waits for my response and I was like, okay. And then she says, we're going to give you a job of a senior program manager. Which was like, yes! Amazing! Now the reason I told you this story is because I wanted to actually lay out the very core reason of what I did. And I've seen these kind of reasons becoming a massive part of my success in life. Number one is that relentlessness. Like I would not give up. I've learned that I've become a kind of person over time where I cannot face a brick wall. No matter what is going on in life, I will never, ever surrender. I will not give up. I can fall flat on my face, but I will not give up. I'll keep going. So that's one thing. And that's one thing I did it. The second thing that did it was that using the resources that I have at my disposal. So at that time, instead of worrying about things, I focused on the resources I had at my disposal. When I was logged outside, I had to use the resources that I had at my disposal. And I tapped into those resources. Phone call, keep making the call. Inside, find out how I can find. Keep calling people, don't be shy, right? And that's the third thing, which is don't be shy. Don't worry about people's judgment, which is going to be like, oh, if you call these people up, they might get bothered. Don't do that. Just keep calling. If you really feel that what you're doing is right, do not worry about other people's judgment. Keep going. And the fourth thing, which is like, I think that ties the whole thing together, is this having that big goal in life that I deserve good stuff. The reason I was there in the room is because I believed that I deserve good stuff. The reason I did not give up at that time is I believed that I deserve good stuff. And I had to be in control of my destiny. So through this story, I really wanted to inspire you, make you think differently about your career. I wanted you to think differently about the possibilities that you're leaving on the table, because maybe you give up too fast. Maybe you're worried about other people's judgment. Maybe you think that you're not slated for something great in your life. Hope this has been useful. Very curious to hear what is your reaction, and what is it that maybe it reminds you of a story of relentlessness that you had in your life where you were resilient, where you kept going, or maybe it makes you ask a question about certain things which are happening in your life. But either way, I hope that you find value in this video. Grateful.